Hi, this is Katie. I am really sick. I am really sick. I think it's just a bad cold, but my voice is gone. So I hope that you guys are ready for like a 10 or 20 or 45 minute video of this. Someone asked me the other day, I think it was like yesterday, when I said, oh, I lost my voice. They said something like, is it more like Ariel when like Ursula took her voice, or is it more like you work at like a really old diner and you smoked a lot of cigarettes? And I'm like, I think it's somewhere in between. So, oh boy, really cool. A+. Also, secondly, yes, I did dye my hair a little bit. I feel like the color on the camera I like a lot better than I do in person. I wanted it to get lighter, but with how dark my hair is and how much color I already had on my hair, getting it lighter is just gonna be a process. But for right now, this is just what my hair looks like. So anyway, so today's video is going to be a Q&A. I have not been feeling good lately. I've been really sick for the past few days, and also my brain has just been really bad. And so in all honesty, I did not feel like thinking of a topic or talking about anything like really serious. And so I just figured I'd do a Q&A. I know that you guys like them. I like doing them. And so I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram. If you don't already follow me, go follow me. My name is just Katie Carney. I do live streams and I will post not daily, but pretty often on like the Instagram stories and stuff like that. And so if you want to see me like more frequently or communicate with me more, like if I do Q&As, I ask you guys to ask me questions through Instagram. So anyway, Katie Carney on there. So any of you guys that did ask me questions, thank you so much. I have so many questions. I have so many. All right, so let's just start rolling. What am I, a train? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna kind of just like spitfire some of them. Is spitfire the word? If it is, why? Is it like a dragon? So I'm just gonna kind of like go like pretty quick, you know, because there's a lot and I want to get a lot answered. So I'm just gonna also stop dilly-dallying. Okay, do you want to have a dog? No. If I ever lived in a house, like for real, maybe, probably, but not while I'm in the car and still on the road. No. Have you ever been to Seattle? If so, what did you think? Yes. I didn't do too much there. I went on a candy tour and I went to some gluten-free restaurant that had gluten-free onion rings, and I was really excited about that. And also I actually got my first 2 tattoos in Seattle, my compass, this one, and my here tattoo I got in Seattle. I liked it. I didn't spend enough time there to like really form an opinion, but I think I liked it. I don't love like the gloomy though. But what country do you want to go to? New Zealand? Australia? What would be some good fashion statement pieces living in your car? I dress pretty like plain, but then I like having kind of like statement shoes and a statement bag. So for example, the bag I'm using right now is this Zac Posen little black bag with like faux pearls on it. And the shoes I'm wearing, I'll show you. I actually mix and match my shoes because I have 2 of the same pair of shoes. And so I have these, they're Steve Madden. They are Steve Madden shoes, and they're the same exact shoe, just different patterns. Sometimes I'll wear both the black or both the leopard, but I like to mix and match them. And so, yeah, I like to kind of have my accessories be kind of a little bit different because I'm generally in like a black or neutral colored t-shirt and jeans. Also jewelry, and you don't even need to spend a lot of money, you know, like you can go to TJ Maxx or something and get pretty decent jewelry for not a lot of money, or like a nice watch or anything like that, or like honestly like put on a red lipstick and like I feel better, you know. So it depends on your style, but there's definitely ways to do it pretty inexpensively, just depending on what you like. And my battery's dying, of course, so hold on a second. Okay, I had changed my battery, so similar angle, right? I hope. Okay, back to the questions. What's your favorite holiday? I don't like holidays, actually. Funny enough, don't like celebrating holidays. I am going to go back to my mom's for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but yeah, holidays like give me a lot of anxiety. Honestly, especially the Christmas season is one of my least favorite times of year. I feel like everyone acts so much more like stressed and rude. It's really weird. And you guys might not agree, but that's just kind of how it seems to me. And I really honestly don't like the Christmas season very much. But what is one thing you can't live without on a day-to-day basis? Only one thing. Toilet paper. I can kind of live without most things. If we're talking about non-necessities, I really like chapstick a lot, or just something that I can have on my lips. So like if my chapstick is not near me, but I have lip gloss or even like hand lotion or something, I like to know that my lips, because my lips sometimes get really dry, so I like to know that I have it around me. But besides that, I don't really need a lot of things. What do you see yourself doing in 10 years? I do not think that way. I just really, really don't. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Like, I just don't think that way. But I don't like not think of it in a way that will sabotage me. I'm not like, oh, I just got $1,000. I'm going to spend it all because the future doesn't matter. Not in that way. It's just that I don't really think about it because life changes so drastically. And if you let it, and I do let it. And so, like, if you asked me 10 years ago where I thought I would be, it would be nowhere here. And if you think about it, even if you, whether you want it or not, if you think about something that might happen versus just letting it happen, like for me, I just would rather like let it happen and have some ideas of things that I might want, but I don't ever do like the where do you see yourself? I don't think that explained anything. I think that was so confusing. The answer is, I don't know. Devin, my friend Devin, hey Dev, he asked your least favorite food. I don't like a lot of food. Most seafood really, really, really grosses me out. I remember eating like a raw scallop, those little white things. I ate like a raw one at a restaurant once and I had to spit it out. I couldn't do it. Some seafood I like, but it's not a lot of it. That's probably the big one, is certain like seafoody things. No. And anything like really, 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 really chewy. Like if you give me a steak, I love steak, but if it's really chewy, nope, can't do it. Freaks me out. Just like really freaks me out. What are your favorite cities in the US? PS, love your channel. Thanks. My favorite cities are Bozeman, like San Diego and LA, Nashville. They're kind of my favorites. Is your car big enough to live in, or would you rather have a van? I love living in my car. I would not rather have a van. Nope, I love living in my car. What camera do you use for vlogging? So I use the Canon G7X, and they also said why. Literally, I got this camera because other vloggers that I was watching at the time all used this camera, and so I just bought the same one, and it has a flip up thing so I can see myself, which is really good for just vlogging purposes and video purposes. And then I have two different tripods. The one that you're on right now is just like a straight but a really, really short one, and then I also have one of like the bendy ones. And then I used to use iMovie to edit my videos for years, but I just switched over to Final Cut Pro, and I don't really do anything fancy, so the difference to me hasn't really been noticeable yet. But I'm sure if I do fancier editing one day, I will be happy that I got Final Cut. But I just don't really know much about like the ins and outs. I just know kind of the basics. What's your favorite state to travel to? Montana? I have a lot, honestly. Like, I like a lot of different parts of the country. I love Utah. I love Wyoming. I love California. I like a lot of, I feel like the West is more my favorite. What's your favorite movie? Big Daddy. This one's funny. What would be your last meal since it wouldn't have to be gluten-free? Oh gosh. Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. The first thing that came into my head was Burger King. I miss Burger King so much. Probably like a real bagel from like the bagel place near my mom's house that I miss so much. Because I can have like gluten-free bagels, but they're just not as good. Gluten-free bagels are the one thing that I cannot find that is as good as the real thing. I mean, also I've been off gluten for so long, but things like pizza, I found some really, really good gluten-free pizza. Is it the same as pizza with gluten in it? No. Is it still really good? Yeah, some of it. Same with like hamburger buns, same with a bunch of foods like cupcakes and a lot of sweets. There's a lot of gluten-free options, but bagels I haven't. So if I could have something with gluten in it, like, because I was about to die, I'd probably have a bagel, but also maybe a Whopper Jr. because I miss Burger King so much. It's so weird. This was a very interesting question. Do you take birth control? No, I have never taken birth control, and I would never take birth control. No. That's just like my personal preference. And also I have a tumor in my liver that if I took birth control, it might make it grow more. So that's like an extra no on that, but also just no for me. I would never want to be on birth control. No. And I know that some people say it does help your skin and it helps regulate things and stuff, but just again, like my personal preference, I just wouldn't want to be on it. How long do you see yourself living in your car? Until I don't like it anymore. Where do you plan on going when you leave Nashville? So essentially, I'm going to make an update video soon, but I'm not entirely sure on things yet, so I'm not going to do it yet. But I'm going to go to my mom's for Thanksgiving, and I'm also going to go for Christmas. I'm not sure where I'm going to go in between, and I kind of have an idea of where I'm going to go after, but I'm not entirely sure again. And I don't even know where I'm really going to be the next few weeks. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to probably be somewhere between Nashville, possibly one of my friends' houses that's a little bit east of Nashville, a little bit, like a couple hours east of Nashville, and like the Northeast, like New York and whatever, probably for the next couple months. And then probably heading out after that in January, like out west, or like south, southwest, west, south. This is a good question. So I've been in Nashville for about 6 weeks now, but I used to live here for almost 2 years, and I spent about, gosh, like 5 or 6 months here last year too. So actually Nashville is the place that I've spent the most time besides New York, except maybe, actually it might be tied with Connecticut. So Connecticut and Nashville might be tied for second. New York's obviously first, but so I've been to Nashville a million times and I have like some opinions about it. So someone asked, what are your favorite things to do and see in Nashville? So a lot of my favorite restaurants are actually in Nashville. I really base places on food, especially since I have such a strict diet, but I just like, when I think of places, I'm like, oh yeah, I like that restaurant there, or I had that really good sandwich or whatever there. So some of my favorite places in Nashville, which are restaurants, are Clausen's Deli. You guys know I freaking love Clausen's Deli. I just also recently tried a new deli called Little Moscow's, and they have a lot of gluten-free options. Essentially, Little Moscow's is one of those places that every week they have a new menu, so they only have a few options each week. So they have like 4 sandwiches a day and then like a few soups and salads and stuff, but all their sandwiches can be made gluten-free and all their baked goods are gluten-free. So they honestly, they have a lot of cookies and stuff, and I've tried like 2 or 3 of the cookies, but their chocolate chip cookies, which are not even my favorite kind of cookies, but their chocolate chip cookies are the best chocolate chip cookies that I've ever gotten from a place. They're like basically like my mom made them, almost. Like they are so good at Little Moscow's. And then my favorite steak that I've ever had, because I really like, I like filet mignon a lot. My favorite steak I've ever had is at a place in Brentwood, which is right outside Nashville, like 15 minutes from downtown Nashville. And it's a place called Firebirds, and it is so good. It's so good. And it's not too expensive. I think like the filet mignon and like a baked potato is maybe like $30, which at like Outback is like 22, you know, so it's not much more expensive, but it's so good. It's probably my favorite steak I've ever had. And then in terms of like sights and stuff, honestly, I like going downtown. A lot of people don't. It's touristy. It's very honky-tonky. I think it's fun. I like Dragon Park, which honestly, I've been here for 6 weeks and I haven't even gone to see if Dragon Park reopened, because I think it did, but I love this place called Dragon Park. And like East Nashville has cool places. Oh, Italia Pizza in East Nashville is one of my favorite pizza places in the country that has gluten-free pizza. So yeah, Nashville just has a lot of like cool bars. It's kind of like hipstery, you know, so they have a lot of like cool things if you like that style of thing, you know. Oh, this is an interesting one. Why don't you want to say what mental illnesses you have? Because I don't. Just don't want to. I might one day, but I don't want to now. And I know that being online and talking about certain things, I'm absolutely okay being open. I absolutely am. If I wasn't okay being open, I shouldn't be having a YouTube channel, you know. But there are just certain things that, you know, people that I know personally don't know what mental illnesses I have. Half my family doesn't know, you know. And so talking about it online and literally letting it go to anyone who wants to see it, I don't think that that is necessary for watching my channel. I don't. I think that I've talked enough about my symptoms and things that I do that I feel like if it was really necessary, I would either stop talking about it or I would share it quicker. I might, I'm not saying I won't, but I'm just saying it is a much bigger decision than maybe you might realize, you know what I mean? Not in a mean way, just in an actuality way. Putting something online is literally like putting it so anyone could see it, and I'm just not comfortable doing that right now. Don't know if I will one day. Zach just screamed Susan, so Zach calls me Susan, I call Zach Susan. A very normal friendship. But also, hi Zach. Where do you put your dirty clothes so that your car does not smell like dirty clothes? I just put them in a little laundry bag and my car just doesn't smell. Just really like, I feel like a lot of people just assume that my car smells, but like my car does not smell any worse than your bedroom would. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why you guys just assume that my car smells really bad because I live in here. Like, you spend a lot of your time in your bedroom, you know? So I don't know, my car doesn't smell. I mean, at least I don't think it does, and no one's ever told me it smells, but I don't think it does. I don't know. And then that person also asked like just about laundry in general. So I will do my laundry at a laundromat and or at a friend's house or family member's house, and I use, what do I use? Is it the 7th generation one? I think it's 7th generation, one of like the all natural ones again. So no dyes, no fragrances, nothing like that. And that one, again, I'm pretty sure that's the one it is, makes really little ones, like little, like I think it will wash like 4 or 5 loads of laundry. So instead of having a giant jug of laundry detergent, I just have like those little ones, and then I'll use that, and that'll last me, you know, maybe 2 or 3 months or something. And then I just use again some free and clear dryer sheets. That's what this means if you didn't know. And yeah, I do my laundry about once a month. If I'm like living somewhere with a washer dryer in a house, I might do my laundry a little bit more often than that, but I have enough like clean clothes and underwear and everything that I could do my laundry every like 4 weeks or so and be totally good. Would you rather only eat cold food for the rest of your life or only hot food? That is the hardest question I've ever been asked in my entire life. Because I was about to say, oh, hot food, but I love sandwiches, but I guess sandwiches can be hot. I'm gonna vote for hot. That's difficult. Answer that in the comments right now. Would you rather only eat hot food or cold food for the rest of your life? What's the coldest temperature you've ever slept in your car in? Maybe like the 30s. I've slept in a tent without a really good sleeping bag once when it was like 29 degrees and I had like a 60-degree sleeping bag and I was in Yellowstone for the first time in October. Whew, that was rough. We were literally freezing. In my car, maybe 30s, maybe low 40s, but I do have a 0-degree sleeping bag, so that helps, in blankets and, you know, socks and a hat, and like I'm okay. I'd rather sleep in the cold than the hot in the car for sure. If you could only eat one cookie for the rest of your whole life, what type of cookie would it be? I used to love cookies. I'm not as big on sweets lately anymore, which is really weird because I used to have a really big sweet tooth, but the past like few weeks, it's been less. I don't know why. Favorite cookies? Honestly, this is going to sound real weird. I know that I just said that like I don't love chocolate chip cookies, but you know what I love? Chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chips in them. And no, they're not sugar cookies. They're different. They're made differently. So like if my mom's making gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, or before I couldn't eat gluten, just chocolate chip cookies, I would ask her to leave the chocolate chips out of some of them because I just love those. Also, if we're talking about gluten or non-gluten, I really liked Oreos a lot. Yeah, I feel like right now I don't have a favorite cookie. That's weird. That's real weird. Can I just say sweets in general? Funfetti cupcakes. And now they have gluten-free Funfetti cupcakes, guys. To me, at least, they taste just like the real thing, and I'm so excited about it. They're so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, and I like donuts a lot. Why have you been posting inconsistent videos lately? Because sometimes life is really hard, and sometimes I have priorities. This is gonna sound like I'm being a jerk, but I'm not. I'm just being straight up honest. Sometimes I have to prioritize other things over YouTube. That's just kind of all it is. I don't want to be like that, but sometimes I'm literally crying all day. And so like the last thing I want to do is record a video, you know? And so yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I hate that I'm doing that. And I really hope, and I'm going to work on being more consistent, but I just have not been really doing well lately, and so I am sorry about that. I am absolutely sorry about that, and I'm doing what I can. That's why even today I'm like, I don't feel good, but I'm like, I know I haven't posted in like a week, and so I'm going to do this because at least I feel okay mentally right now. And so I'm like, I'm going to do what I can right now while I'm on a mental okay, because I know when I'm on that mental low, I feel like sometimes I can't even function at all. And so recording a video gets so difficult. So again, I'm sorry. And I hope that the mood that I'm in right now will continue so that I can be more consistent for you guys. Are you still selling stuff? Yes. I'm still like compiling everything, and then my car's a disaster, but so like once I clean it and I make sure that like everything is like in my pile to sell, I will be doing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do like an eBay thing, and then I'll probably have, I'm talking about like clothes and stuff, by the way. I will do a video about it because I want you guys to be able to have like the first like knowledge of when I put stuff up. So if you've seen me wear something and you really like it and you want it but you can't go find it, you can just buy the one that I'm selling, you know. But I'll talk about all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to donate some of it to a charity, and so I'll talk about all that when I make the video. Don't know when that's going to be. I'd say probably in November, but I am still absolutely going to be selling some stuff. Yes. Are you still living in your car? Yes. So here's the thing. I still consider myself living out of my car, even though I have been staying in a house most of the time of the past month. I didn't like move in. I didn't unpack. So like I see it as kind of like if you live in an apartment in Ohio and you are visiting your friend in Austin for a month, you still live in Ohio. You know what I mean? You're just staying with your friend. So that's kind of how I see it. I still live in my car, but I am just staying at my friend's right now. And so, I mean, some of you guys might not consider that as I really live in my car, but I still do. But I am staying at my friend David's much more often now, staying on his couch. And yeah, so I'm staying there right now. Again, I don't really exactly know what's going on for the next few months, but I might be staying there. I might be staying at another friend's place. I might be going to my mom's for a little while. I'm not entirely sure. But right now, staying at my friend's house. How do you love the winter time in your car, or do you not stay in it when it's cold? I generally do not stay in my car when it's cold for a very long period of time. And so like I'm not going to live in my car in New York in the winter. I'm just not going to do that. If I have to stay in my car for a night in New York in the winter, if it's below freezing, I probably would see if I can find any other option. But so generally in the winter, I'm like a bird. Like I'll go south or I'll go west for the winter, like southwest for the winter. And then during the summer, actually, I like to go like to the mountains. So I'll go to Montana, or I might stay somewhere where it's still warm. So like I don't want to be in Austin in the summer, but I don't want to be in New York in the winter. But if I'm in New York for the winter, if I'm going to be there for a few weeks for the holidays or to visit my family, I'll be staying at my mom's house most likely most of the time. So yeah, if it's way, way, way too cold, I generally leave. If I'm going to be in the car, and if it's way, way too hot, I generally leave. But there have definitely been times that I've slept in my car when it's really cold, and I've slept in my car when it's really hot. It's just not something that I'm going to like chase, you know, like I'm not going to be like, I'm going to go to Chicago for 3 weeks and sleep in my car in January. I'm just not going to do that most likely. But if I am driving through, or there's circumstances that I didn't realize were happening or things like that, it might happen, but it's not really going to be on purpose, if that makes sense. And so that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do like doing Q&A videos, and I'm glad that you like them too. I actually did a poll on Instagram just to make sure that you guys still liked them, because I know that I just did one like 2 weeks ago or something, but I am glad that you guys liked them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. So tell me you gotta